In Nigeria, it's a power struggle between ethnic groups, which translates into a power struggle between the North and the South.
Most of Nigeria's soil is very fertile, without the use of fertilizers, pesticides, or chemicals.
Even though Nigeria is in a fuel crisis, over 95% of the country's foreign exchange comes from oil exports.
Transportation has been slowed down drastically in Nigeria. No, this is not a parking lot. It's a line of motorists queuing for fuel. This has been the status of Nigerian petroleum since 1993. Scenes like this are common. Motorists crowd around one gas pump at this Osun State petrol station. It's a first come, first served basis, and they're getting very tired of it.
I'm from Odo State. Odo State to Osun State. It's very, very far distance. No fuel. Everybody is suffering because of fuel. So nobody can say the fuel can go to stop or not. Because our government is stopping us. There's no enjoyment on Nigeria.
Suffering indeed, because a gallon of gas that used to cost 50 cents is now $7. And the fuel shortage is affecting food prices as well. Ironic though, Nigeria has 4 refineries, 2 in Port Harcourt, 1 in Warri, and 1 in Kaduna. But the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC, claims only 1 of the 4 refineries are working.
We have many places where our refined fuel here, but our government has told us that their machines have spoiled. Nobody, we are here now. Nobody, one of us can get in there. We want to get in there, I'm sending you back.
Experts estimate it will take $1 billion to fix the refineries. Currently, Nigeria is importing fuel. Nigerian Oil Minister Dan Etete claims the fuel crisis will be solved by September. But to solve the problem, one has to know the cause.
Let's go for our government. The place where the fuel is coming out, but they are not refining the fuel for us. They want the public people because they have got money. It's suffering.
Tokumbo Lokeri, reporting from Osun State, Nigeria.
As you may know, the commute to and from work contributes greatly to our air pollution. That's why Aurora's Joseph Mouton and his company Rider Rangers came up with the Pollution Solution Campaign.
The overall goal of the program is two-part. First, reduce pollution, air pollution, and reduce traffic congestion.
Pollution Solution is a campaign that urges companies to have their employees use alternative transportation 1 day a week from January to March. These are the highest air pollution months. Companies that participate in the campaign help reduce air pollution, and employees are eligible for prizes.
You fill in each month the date and which alternative transportation you use, and we also need some other verification information specifically for the prize.
To participate in the Pollution Solution Campaign, one can either carpool, catch the bus, or ride their bike to work. But would you consider pedaling in this type of weather?
Last snowstorm we had, it took me an hour to get home.
Josh Martin lives in Aurora, but works in Denver and rides his bike 17 miles to work.
This is the first year that I've participated in it. Plan on doing it again next year though. Well, I race anyways in the summer, so you know, this is just good cross training in the wintertime.
And as Martin proves, sometimes you don't need a car to get to where you're going.
Yeah, and I love it when I'm riding home and you see these traffic jams and everybody stopped and I'm just rolling by. You know, it's great just sitting there watching them and sitting in the smog and just cruising along.
Tokumbo Lokeri, inside Aurora.
Nigeria's political future is up in the air. With the sudden and mysterious death of President General Sani Abacha, came the hope that Bashiru MKO Abiola would take the head of state. Elected president in June of 1993, Abiola was imprisoned 1 year later by then President Abacha. Some saw Abiola as the man that could help save Nigeria from total ruin due to the country's fuel crisis.
So now they are saying that in NNPC, that something spoiled there. So we don't know how they are going to repair the equipment there. If he can help, then the fuel scarcity can come down.
Others saw Abiola as just another political candidate.
Actually, he has nothing to do. He has nothing to do, but if he still wants to contest, he should go out to contest as the president of this country.
But shockingly, the day Abiola was set free from prison, he died of an apparent heart attack. A few days later, it was confirmed that he was poisoned.
That we expect Abiola as a president, but since that time, Abiola was the president. Now Abiola is dead on the president. There's no hope for us now that Nigeria are going to good again.
Now Nigeria is being run by interim President General Abdul Salam Abubakar. Though he is from the same regime as Abacha, he has set himself apart by releasing political prisoners.
Abiola fly. I can't say Abiola can fly.
President Abubakar has promised to release power to civilian rule in mid-1999.
So we are looking for civilian government. We don't want any army president again or military government again.
But Nigerians just want and need a head of state that will lead the country in a positive direction.
They want Abubakar.
We want Abubakar, we want Abiola.
The people that want.
Anybody that can make Nigeria to be fine.
Tokumbo Lokere, reporting from Nigeria. It's a ceremony full of dance, music, and food. But I bet you would have never guessed this festive atmosphere is a celebration of a final burial.
People has got the impression in Nigeria that, let me say, in the whole world, that the maximum year everybody can live is 70 years old. And glory be to God, this woman, she's 70, 80 years old. So they just have the cause to celebrate it.
The show started yesterday. Well, we're running it up today by burying the mother, and by 8, 9 today, the show will be up.
Most of the people in attendance are friends and family of the late Madam Esther Balaji, who died in her sleep.
The celebrant. She happens to be my client. She bears in Lagos, while I bears in Ibadan.
No stops were pulled when having a burial celebration. A catering company provided the food, drinks, and seating, while musicians were hired to entertain the crowd all night.
That's the culture of Nigeria today. Anybody that wants to celebrate party like this, like to call a musician.
Balaji lived at the house on the left, and earlier today, she was buried on her front porch. Not all Nigerians are buried on their property, but her home was where Balaji wanted to be laid to rest. As for the surviving family members, they are honored and showered with money at the burial ceremony. Don't get the wrong impression, though. Nigerians do mourn their dead.
Because it's sorrow to everybody. But in a situation like this, they lost the grandmother, the grandmother, they do celebrate.
So even though they are partying, they are in mourning. Tokumbo Lokere, reporting from Nigeria.
You run, force them again. Just force them, then you run. Thank
why are they celebrating this occasion?
Okay. There are many reasons why they are celebrating this, final burial ceremony of their late mother. For the first instance, they have to thank God for the mere fact that the old woman, she's 78 years old. You see, a lot of people has got the impression in Nigeria that, let me say, in the whole world, that the maximum year everybody can live is 70 years old. And glory be to God, this woman, she's 78 years old. So they just have the cause to celebrate it, just to give thanks and glory to God.
Now, are you a friend of the family, or do you know the family? Did you know the woman?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, let me say, I'm a friend of, the celebrant. She happens to be my client. She based in Lagos, while I based in Ibadan. So, actually, we've known each other for a long time, then we happen to be a very close friend.
That's it? Well, chill. Okay, just ask them. Are all funerals like this?
How was the ceremony? The ceremony started?
Started yesterday. So today, Saturday, they are celebrating the final burial of the late mother. So that's how it started. All the show started yesterday. Well, we're running it up today by burying the mother, and by 8-9 today, the show will be up.
You mean today or?
Today. Really, the show started yesterday.
Is it compulsory, to when they are doing such a thing?
Yeah.
Is it compulsory to recall a musician to go on stage?
Yeah.
What's the reason why they do that?
That's their culture in Nigeria today. Anybody that wants to celebrate a party like this, we like to call musician, an African musician that will make party. Musician that will have names, well-known musician.
Where is the family? Are they in a certain section, or are you going to honor them too? The family?
Yeah. Yeah, we go on the family too, because they all involved in the party, because they lost their great-grandmother, their mother, the great-grandson is there, the grandson, the son himself, the sons of God.
Yeah, so
because it's sorrow to everybody who lost a baby. Nobody will be happy about it when they lost a baby. When a situation like this, they lost a grandmother, great-grandmother, they do celebrate.
thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Are you satisfied?
Yeah, I just have to get you now.
Look at the expensive car.
Yeah, that's...
These are the caterers they are having.
Well, they won't wait.
What caused all these killing?
Of where? All these things, you are going to government and go and ask everything because
we have to know your opinion.
We are dealer here.
I understand.
Because of there's no fuel. I think you are going inside town now. You know how everything be.
We still go there.
You still go there. You never go there before. And you must go there because you can't ask me that one. Because if you reach this time, you will see that there's no fuel anywhere.
This problem comes from a government place. This government problem now.
You see me?
Uh-huh.
You still see me?
Uh-huh.
Does it still say record? Use of fertilizers, pesticides, or chemicals. 4 more times. Okay, let's see now.
Let's see. Go on.
Most of Nigeria is very... Most of Nigeria's soil is very fertile without the use of fertilizers, pesticides, or chemicals. Do it 2 more times.
Okay.
Most of Nigeria's soil is very fertile without the use of fertilizers, pesticides, or chemicals. 1 more time.
He's almost died. Quick, quick, quick.
Most of Nigeria's soil